Chapter 18. By the time his mother got out of bed, Zack had already been up for a couple of hours and was getting ready to leave to make his way back to the lab. He wanted answers, and the only way he could get them was to ask the professor. Zack and his mother ate breakfast together. He said goodbye and headed off to find the answers he so desperately wanted. The security cameras scanned Zack's face, and the door opened with a hiss, like the sound of a slow steam valve, and Zack entered the airlock. Seconds later, he was in the main lab, and the light switched on, illuminating the entire room. "Holoprof on," he said. "Hello again, Zack," replied the holograph as it appeared in front of him. "I need to look for Dad. What information do you have on him?" "Accessing files," said the professor, pausing as it scanned the data retrieval system. "Michael David Drummond, brother of Graham William Drummond, born to Janet and Bernard on—" "Stop!" said Zack, interrupting the hologram. "What about the Hayworth security guard?" said Zack, curiously. "He was nowhere near the town when the dam collapsed." "Records show that Oliver Black survived and currently lives at 68 Monell Drive." "Does he know anything about Dad?" asked Zack quizzically, happy that he'd got some information from the holoprof. "Sorry, that information is unavailable." Yeah, I know," said Zack sarcastically. He went through the holoprof's menu system, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't find any data for events that happened after his father had visited his brother. Frustrated, he tried a fresh set of questions. "Professor, bring up the camera footage from the dam. I want to know more information on the woman who was in Mum's car." "Searching," came the reply. After a second or two, the professor showed a video window with a list containing clips, named and dated. "Show me that one." Zack pointed at the third one down with his finger. The video played. Inside the rectangle, Zack could see his mum's car approaching. The car stopped and she got out. All of this seemed exactly as he'd remembered it so far. The guard tapped on the window, there was a flash, and seconds later he was walking back to the booth and opening the barrier. "Rewind to the flash," said Zack to the professor. The video skipped back and paused a couple of seconds before the flash. And play. Again the video flashed. "Rewind and slow that down, please," Zack said with a curious look on his face. "Of course," replied the professor as the video rewound. There was a flash, and even after slowing it down, pausing it, zooming in, and taking out shadows, which seemed to make it worse, Zack was still clueless about what the flash was for, or whether it was even relevant. "What about the woman in the back of the car?" asked Zack. "I have no data to suggest there was a woman," replied the professor. "So who is that?" Zack pointed at a figure in the back seat, trying to dodge the cameras. The professor did some video magic and sharpened and defined the image. "Who is she?" Zack asked, screwing up his eyes trying to get a better look. He had so many questions and he had to find her. "Okay, play the rest of the video." The video played and Zack watched as the clone Zack was seen from the news helicopter trying to defuse the bomb. He watched as his mum's car was driven back into the town and the woman got out. "Freeze frame!" Zack shouted at the professor. The image of the woman was clear and they could both see that this was not the suspect's real face. "The mask she is wearing is obscuring facial recognition," said the professor. "I have to go back." "If you wish," said the professor, closing the video window. If she knows what happened to my mother, she probably knows what happened to my father." He lay down on the table. "I'm ready to go again, Professor,"